By now, I've all but given up on being able to see Tara again, but I can't abandon the idea without at least trying to get through to her. She deserves to know that I'm okay, or at least okay as I can be given the circumstances. At first, Abigail was hesitant about interacting with other people. I don't blame her. After 2 centuries of solitude, talking to 3 complete strangers within the course of a few days be a pretty jarring shift. Despite that, she understands how important this is to me. She also warned me that we can't venture too far into the village itself. The magic of the forest only extends so far, and there's no telling what would happen to us if we went past it. The border of magic isn't clear-cut, so she made me promise to stay close to her. Just in case. I really am lucky to have someone as accommodating as her with me. Even if we fail, it means a lot that she's willing to try. I fill her in on what to expect from Tara and Morgan's personalities, doing my best to be as charitable as I can when telling her how likely Tara is to completely flip out when she sees a ghost. Once she's fully prepared, we make our way to the cabin. It's empty. There's not a trace that anyone has been here in days. All of Tara's things are gone. That's an instant relief. It seems like a planned exit.
Did you find something, Madison?
I can't help flinching as Abigail floats through the wall next to me. Incorporeality is one of these things that I haven't been able to get used to. I think so. It seems like the 2 of them went back to the village. I don't even entertain the idea that she went home early or anything like that. It's not in her nature.
Do you think so? That sounds like it would be dangerous. Why would they put themselves in danger like that?
I have no idea. Hopefully we can ask them ourselves. Abigail starts to back away, looking down at the ground.
Madison, of course. I'll do my best to help you. But I feel like it would be remiss of me if I didn't warn you to not get your hopes up. It took me years to be able to manifest myself. The chances of you being able to communicate with them so soon are low.
That's okay. I didn't have much hope to begin with. I don't like being this dour about things, but I don't see how else I'm supposed to feel. She looks stricken by my words, and I hastily try to gloss it over. I mean, hey, you never know. If you can do it, maybe I can come along with you. The 2 of us together are bound to be able to accomplish more than we could on our own.
Together?
What's wrong?
It's just that accompanying you would mean returning to Eysenfeld again. I haven't returned since, well...
Oh no. I'd never even thought to ask about that. I've tried to avoid talking about her death as much as possible. Strange as it sounds, it feels like it would be rude in a way, invasive. But I should have at least checked with her before suggesting we make our way out there. I'm sorry, Abigail. I didn't mean to... To my surprise, she hurries back towards me and nearly bumps her head against mine as she closes the gap between us.
You don't have to apologize, Madison. I agreed to help you, and I'm going to honor that commitment. Besides, maybe it could be good for me. I can't avoid going back there forever. And having you there will make the burden of memory much easier to bear.
Her conviction combined with her invasion of my personal space makes my face flush red, and for a moment, it looks like she's worried she upset me. I give her the best smile I can manage. After years of making Tara normal, I'd hoped maybe a bit of Tara's charm and social skills would have rubbed off on me. They haven't. If you say so. As long as you don't feel like I'm forcing you or anything.
Not at all. You've been nothing but kind to me, Madison. I want to repay that kindness.
If anything, I still feel like I'm indebted to her for saving my life. But I know she wouldn't see it that way. I've done my best to be polite, but I haven't exactly made any grand gestures of thanks to her. Thank you, Abigail. Really.
Of course. Now then, shall we?
Lead the way. Every time Tara and I visited Eysenfeld, we were stared at everywhere we went. Now, seeing everyone walk by Abigail and me without so much as a glance is surreal. Abigail gazes at the buildings as we pass by, occasionally pointing out ones she remembers from her time. Her voice is a strange mix of excitement and melancholy. I'm not sure if I should encourage her mood or try to comfort her. As we enter the town square, we start to encounter larger groups of people. Each time one passes close by, Abigail grabs onto my arm and moves closer to me. Is she scared of crowds, or is it something about the villagers themselves that has her shaking? I'm tempted to ask her, but I think better of it. For all I know, this fear could be connected with the way she died. My mind runs wild with possibilities. Maybe she was burned as a witch, or cast out of the village? This definitely isn't helping. I need to focus. Thankfully, it's not too long before we reach Morgan's house. I just hope they're here, and more importantly, I hope we can reach them. Are you ready, Abigail?
I'm ready. Let's go.
We phase through the wall and into the kitchen. And there they are. Tara and Morgan sharing breakfast close enough to touch. I'd give nearly anything to be able to hug them right now. My feelings are a mixture of guilt and elation, and worry. But more than anything, I'm glad she's okay. Both her and Morgan. I need to talk to Tara. There's so much I need to say and ask. Tara, can you hear me? Morgan, this is delicious. How the hell do you know how to make all this stuff? Apparently she can't. She doesn't even look in my direction.
Most of it I picked up from older folks in the village. The rest I pieced together from random cooking videos.
When all this is said and done, remind me to give those channels a shout out on an episode, because this rules! I try waving my hands in front of their faces, hoping that maybe movement will convey what my voice clearly can't. Once again, no reaction. Morgan leads towards Tara, passing right through my hand.
Maybe you'll learn enough while you're here to make a few cooking videos yourself.
Are you asking because you actually think that'd be good, or do you just want to see another video where I almost burn my house down? Morgan shrugs and gives Tara a small smirk. When Tara chuckles in response, I feel another surge of sadness. I knew I shouldn't have expected this to work right away, but I'm still crestfallen. Having them this close hurts in a way I couldn't have imagined. All the time I spent feeling ignored while I was alive seems so trivial compared to this. So what's the plan for today? Got anywhere in town we might be able to hit up for local lore?
Most of the official records of town history are sealed up in Evelyn's house, so those are off the table. But we might have some luck checking out older buildings around town. She's done a good job of cleaning up evidence of what Eysenfeld used to be. But maybe you'll notice something I didn't.
Sure, I mean, it's worth a shot. Her voice barely contains a trace of the fire I'm so used to. I have to hope that at least the remaining trace is a sign she'll regain the fire someday. At least she's not alone. Morgan reaches out and puts her hand on Tara's shoulder, squeezing gently. When she speaks, her words are soft and strained.
Are you going to be okay?
What do you mean?
After yesterday, if you need some time to rest, nobody's going to blame you.
Tara looks down at her feet. I can't read her expression, but the low volume of her voice tells me all I need to know. A quiet Tara is a worrying rarity. I mean, I guess a little time off could help me. As long as we get right back to looking for Mads afterwards.
Of course.
I feel like I should be hurt that she's not focusing on finding me, but I'm not. I'm just glad that she's got someone with her to keep her from burning herself out. I still don't feel any kind of power within me that I could use to manifest myself. Abigail's my only hope. I turn to her, trying to keep my voice level despite my desperation. Abigail, do you think you could manifest? Even if I can't reach them, maybe you can. Abigail nods, but she's frowning. My heart wasn't exactly soaring, but I can feel it sink even further.
I'll try, but whatever power I had that allowed me to appear to you has felt much weaker since I used it to save you.
Abigail closes her eyes and starts to lift higher off the ground. As I watch, I feel a strange feeling in the air around me, as if it's bending around her, being pulled aside so she can step through the border between our worlds. For a minute, it seems like it's actually working. I'm trying to figure out what exactly I'm going to say when I feel the energy in the air start to fade. Abigail seems to be struggling. Furrowing her brow, she sways in the air. Her face scrunches and guilt stabs me like a knife. Is she in pain? Abigail, stop. It's okay.
Maybe if I just try a little harder.
I reach out and gently take her hand, lowering her to the ground. She opens her eyes, breathing hard. As much as I want to see Tara, it's not worth making her feel like this. It's okay. I promise. We can try again some other time. Abigail gives a faint nod and stares down at her feet. Her hands ball into fists as her shoulders rise and fall.
I'm so sorry, Madison. I don't understand why this is happening.
There aren't any rule books for this sort of thing. I don't blame you for not knowing about things most people think are impossible to begin with. The disappointment I'm feeling takes a backseat to concern for Abigail's well-being. I've already put her through a lot by making her come here in the first place. We knew beforehand that this was a long shot. I'm just happy I got to see them again.
Are you sure?
I'm not, but I know that if I tell her that she'll want to try again. It's better this way. I'm sure. You've done more than enough by coming with me. I look back to Tara and Morgan, taking what I pray isn't my final glance at them. To my surprise, Tara is leaning against Morgan's shoulder, while Morgan's arm is wrapped around her back in a loose hug. Thank you. As messed up as all this is, I'm glad that you're the one helping me get through it. Tara's voice is soft and it carries a vulnerability I don't think I've ever heard from her before.
Same here. We make a good team.
Tara raises her head to look at Morgan, their faces inches apart. We should have a team name like the Dream Team or something.
We'll work on it.
I'm not that surprised, if I'm being honest. Stuff like this has happened before with her. But it's always a one-night stand or some kind of quick fling. Never the kind of thing that would merit real vulnerability. Then again, she's never been in a situation like this before. Maybe losing me brought out a part of her I never knew she had. As if in response to my thoughts, Morgan leans forward and kisses Tara. It's a lot more than a simple peck on the lips. This is something deeper. So deep, in fact, that I have to turn away. It seems wrong to spy on something that intimate. Next to me, Abigail has also turned away. Her face is a bright crimson and her hands are close to her chest. I didn't stop to consider that this is the first act of intimacy she's seen in 2 centuries. For all I know, this could be the first time she's ever seen 2 women kiss. You okay? She looks up at me, slightly alarmed.
Yes, I'm okay. I just wasn't prepared for something like that.
Trust me, I wasn't either. Abigail pauses for a moment, closing her eyes and taking a calming breath. A small smile crosses her face as her blush subsides, her wide eyes softening.
It is nice though, isn't it? A love like that can bring someone incredible strength.
Yeah, I'm happy for them. I really am. Maybe this will help her cope better now that I'm gone. Maybe we should probably go. I feel really weird being here for this.
Of course. Maybe we can try this again another time.
Her words lack conviction, but she doesn't protest. I'll have to think of some ways to cheer her up once we get back to the church. Hey, do you want to maybe... The front door creaks open. All four of us freeze as we face the entrance. Evelyn stalks in and slams the door behind her. She doesn't say anything, but neither do Tara and Morgan. Tara's shaking and Morgan places a protective arm in front of her as she glares at her mother. I shiver too, desperately wanting to look away but feeling unable to. A part of me screams to do something, anything, to get her away from Morgan and Tara. Yet there's a stronger part of me screaming, I need to leave, I need to get out of here. But I feel just as frozen as the day I died. I feel Abigail on my arm pulling me backwards. She pulls my body through the connecting wall, and only when Evelyn is out of my vision can I breathe again. Abigail presses against me, just as stunned as I am. I try to keep calm, telling myself that she doesn't even know we're here, that she can't hurt me anymore. Evelyn passes through the door and by the corner where Abigail and I are lurking. And she stops. Slowly, her head turns to look where we are, where there's otherwise just empty space. She's so close that I can see her face contort in recognition and shock.
Madison?
I jerk my head towards Abigail to see that she's already starting to head for the wall, waving for me to follow her. It's enough for me to snap out of my trance. I run to her, casting a backward glance at Evelyn to make sure that she isn't following us. She doesn't move, but her eyes track us as we run. Right before I pass through the wall, her mouth opens. How? I don't stick around to find out what she says next. Abigail and I run as fast as we can, phasing through buildings and people with reckless abandon. After what we just saw, all other fears feel inconsequential. By the time we're back in the forest, it's clear that Evelyn has no interest in pursuing us. For now, at least.
Madison, are you okay?
I'm not sure, but I'm a lot better now that we have some distance between us and her. I look backwards towards the village, half expecting her to come flying at us like some kind of demon. She saw us, Abigail. How is that possible? Abigail looks down at the ground, and I realize she's shaking as hard as I am.
I wish I knew. Madison, she said something to you before we left, didn't she?
Yeah, I didn't catch all of it, but I think I know what she's going to say. She looked shocked when she saw us, confused even. I think she didn't know about us being out here. Abigail's voice is barely above a whisper when she speaks.
But now she does.
The message is clear. As long as Evelyn is in Eysenfeld, we can't be. I'm sorry, Tara. I'm sorry, Morgan. But it looks like you're on your own.